Nā, ka tīmata a tātou kōrero I tēnei rā I te mana pāti. He mea whakarewa ia I nahi, engari ai rānei kārere. Nera, Jodi.
Pātai pai. Kia ora everyone. With me to answer that question, we have spokesperson Annette Sykes. And to give us her analysis on the situation, Massey University political scientist Veronica Tawhai. Kia ora, thank you for coming.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Annette, let's start with you. Are you standing or what is your role with Te Mana Party?
I think at this stage my role is to ensure we have a party and one that's properly supported by the people and a wide section of the community. I'm a strong advocate for the poor, and I have been trying very hard to ensure that their participation is maximised because I feel they've been disadvantaged. I'm also very keen to challenge the policy arrangements that have been in place for nearly 20 years in this country. The neoliberalism has not served this country well, and certainly Māori communities are disadvantaged, but so are Pākehā communities. So I want to give my policy analysis in this inceptive phase to provide some clear change and direction to this country. I don't want John and Don. We want a country that is going to actually be representative of communities, the heartlands, those that care for and look after each other. I have to agree with Hone Harawira, what's good for Māori has to be good for the whole community, and we need a movement that provides things that's good for Māori and the community.
Veronica, do you agree with this?
I completely agree. I think that there is a real danger with Don Brash now leading the ACT Party. As it would seem, I mean, he wasn't even in government the last time around when we had Orewa, and yet there was a massive effect that was taken on policy. For example, we know at that time that over $130 million worth of funding for Māori and others was cut. That was the race-based funding cuts. And what we need to be able to counter that is a strong Māori political voice. The Māori Party have said that they are part of kāwanatanga, that if we want to make gains, that they compromises must be made. But I just don't think that is why people voted them in. We do need strong tino rangatiratanga. We need the representation of a strong Māori voice if we are going to be able to counter people like Brash effectively.
Is Mana the party that can actually control the ACT situation?
I definitely believe so.
I don't think we need to be juxtaposed against ACT. I think Mana, as the name asserts, stands for prestige.
How did the name come about?
It came around from a competition and it came from our people, and there were wānanga. And it had a huge range of competition against it, you know, significant names like Maui. People wanted that, which is a name to the Pacific, but it also signifies to the left. There were names like the Real Māori Party that scored quite highly also in the competition, but overwhelming support for Mana. And I think it links back to the whakapapa of Mana Māori Motuhake, Mana me te tino rangatiratanga, which is the foundation documents of this country. He whakaputanga, the Declaration of Independence, and Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Those two phrases are the catch cry of what was asserted for Māori and promised to Māori by incoming settlers at the behest of the Crown.
Annette, you've been involved in politics for your whole life. What has it that's brought you to Te Mana? Or what happened to make you come here and help them?
I think it's a series of things. I've for a long time been an analyst of what is good for Aotearoa, but what is particularly bad for Māori. And this last 10 years has been a huge disappointment for me when I put a lot of faith in parties like the Māori Party to maintain a strident independent agenda that worked for the poor. I've actually been so disappointed to see policies promoted mainly by Wira Gardner. There are some key ideologues in the Māori world working with the Māori Party from the National Party, come up with strategies that are about promoting elites. And elitism is an antithesis to me of what kaupapa Māori is about. So I've come to the point, if I want to change, I need to provide policy analysis as to how to achieve that change.
Veronica, in terms of the Māori vote or a Māori voter, is this a good thing? Is it adding benefits or confusion, having a whole other party with a Māori kaupapa?
I think in fact that it actually clarifies a lot of the confusions that people have had. The last election was an absolute disaster in terms of Māori voting. There were many people people that were non-Māori that asked, do we need to be on the Māori roll to vote for a Māori party, for example, they were told by people at the polling booths, yes. That's absolutely incorrect. And so having another Māori voice that is very different from the Māori party will then, I believe, shows a sophistication in the Māori political processes and the willingness of Māori communities to act, to get a part of the parliament and to have a go. Yes.
Is this new party going to kill the Māori party?
I'm not sure about that, but I know definitely in terms of young people, what young people want to see is not compromise. They don't want to see mana, being sold out. They don't want to see non-resistance to the government, and so I definitely feel that the Mana Party will bring on new people in terms of voting. We know.
What are the risks in terms of splitting the vote?
I don't actually think that that's an issue, because I do believe that the Mana Party, who they are going to encourage to vote, are people that have never voted, people that have not ever had faith in the government system, not only because of the prestige of the people that are standing for the Mana Party, but what the Mana Party also stands for is going to bring people into the voting process, participating in the parliamentary system that never have before.
And some of the names linked to Te Mana Party, Margaret Mushu, yourself, Sid Kepa, Mariana Pittman, these are high-profile activists. What do you say to people who think you're too hardcore?
They're high-profile intellectuals who've worked all their lives for Māori and Pākehā. I mean, Sid Kepa's a member of a union. I knew him in Kawerau, and he's a huge union organiser. And for me, growing up in Kawerau, those were the ones that helped everybody.
For sure.
And so they're not just activists. They are huge, high-profile community workers who have come from grassroots.
Can they all work with Hone?
I think that we can all work with each other.
I know you can control Hone. Is that your plan?
No, I don't think Hone needs me to control him. Hone is somebody that is an individual who stands for the things that people admire. They fight the system. They don't buckle to people that are prejudiced. They are people, though, that have a kindness in them. Hone's kindness is something that the media doesn't actually profile very often. But I've seen that kindness. I've seen him look after young men and young women that are suffering.
What about your profile?
Your profile of me is it's a difficult one, because I've been a bit of a difficult one for you to tie down. I think Helen Clark profiled me one way, and I think she was wrong. I think, though, there's another profile that I have as in a lawyer, and I'm a successful lawyer, but there's also another profile. I'm very much a child of Te Arawa. And that profile is the one that's most dear to me. I live in the heartland of my people. I live underneath my mountain, next to my marae.
The Waiariki electorate is also Te Uriro's electorate right now. So you're confident to go up against him, take him out?
I don't think I need to do anything like that. That's for the people to determine. What the people want in Waiariki is kaupapa Māori advocates. They will make a decision who is the best advocate for that. Te Uriro may be one candidate. There are a number of people in Waiariki. Just today, Te Whānau Apanui were shining in the Tauranga court. There was not one person there that could not have been classified as a leader, as they supported Elvis Terry in his very brave stand against a large multinational corporation. Waiariki is full of people like that, passionate, and that's the thing about this party. It's passionate. It's creating energy, it's creating confidence. It is a movement for change. And that's the problem. Labour has gone to sleep. It's
you've
political
got 6 months
leadership.
You've got
it's
6
political
months.
leadership, though. Let's talk about Labour. It's political leadership cuts everything off at the part that's new and innovative instead of embracing things. National Party's hoping that Don Brash is going to provide them, I think, with some acceleration.
Okay, and we've got 30 seconds left. What's the plan to the election? 6 months, you got enough time?
I think we've got more than enough time. We've been actually organising in communities, well, I have for 30 years. What we need is for those communities who have been silent to have a voice, stand up and be counted.
Kia ora. Now we turn to another issue that's close to your heart, Annette, and that's the battles facing Tūhoe.